Previously on Chilling.
Those early days of dating, my campus days, we used to dance, but we stopped.
Oh, go out to clubs.
Hip hop is great. Sounding like Jay-Z or Kanye West or whoever is great, but you need to bring it back home. And he did. And that's when he got the big fan base that he now has.
You know, in this video, Winnie Nwaji displays the feelings you get when your husband visits your home. The first time he comes,
Although yours came when he was mourning. If you just play Congolese, you just play Michael Jackson, how is Chameleon, Navio, and all those people going to develop? They can't.
All right. Pretty have a strong point.
It's a big one.
Now I see why you have a sharp brain for business.
Chilling.
Hi chillers, as you're enjoying this episode, make it an effort to follow our social media outlets. All you've got to do is type in Chilling UBC TV, like us on our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and then also subscribe onto our YouTube channel.
Chilling.
Yes, indeed. Good evening, beautiful people, and welcome to yet another interesting episode of Chilling. Now, more than ever, my name is Jago. Today is all about inspiration. I'm here to introduce to you a man that defied all the odds to make sure that Uganda Cranes qualified for the African Cup of Nations after 38 years. That's so unbelievable. Though our journey was cut short at the group stages after facing a heavyweight champion defeat from Ghana and Egypt. Those guys are merciless. Guys, the Serbian coach is here. Join me later on as I engage him. See you in a heartbeat.
Chilling.
I'm very glad you guys are still watching Chilling on UBC TV. Now, my guest is already in the house. Now, his first eye-opening experience was at FC Palace. Since then, he has never looked back. Now, managing over 10 clubs and one national club, making him and certifying him the right man to handle the Uganda Cranes. I'm very honored to introduce to you Mr. Micho. I can't even pronounce the other name, but he's gonna help me out. You'll come to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you, sir?
Very well.
How do they pronounce that other name of yours?
In central Uganda, they pronounce me as a Sredojevic. Otherwise, I'm Milutin Micho Sredojevic.
Sredojevic?
Yes.
You're originally from Serbia.
Yes, I'm coming from Serbia, a country that has come as a part of former Yugoslavia, out of 6 republics. They have separated in a painful way. It's supposed to be peaceful, but it was not painful. It was painful way. And now there are 6 different republics, countries that are cooperating together. But each of these 6 republics is powerful powerhouse in sports.
Okay.
In all sports, in basketball, in volleyball, in football. In tennis, to Novak Djokovic and other tennis players, and in a way, we are really a sport nation.
Yeah, obviously you've mentioned that you guys have a lot of sporting abilities, and now later on I will talk about how you came to choose soccer, or either soccer chose you. Now, how are you enjoying your stay in Uganda, coach? Because you've been here for quite a long, coming to 16 years.
I have started my African football dream and journey 16 years before with Sports Club Villa in Uganda. In between, it has been a long journey dreaming about African football and still dreaming about achieving even much more. I was in Uganda for 3 years, then I went 2 years to Ethiopia, 1 year to South Africa, 1 year to Tanzania, back 3 years in Ethiopia, 2 years in Sudan, 2 years in Rwanda, and now the last 4 years I am
That's
in
almost
Uganda.
touring the whole of Africa.
Yes, it is.
It more looks like a Hollywood story.
It is really Hollywood story. I have been in 51 out of 55 African countries.
Okay.
except bringing expertise from the point of coaching, I really wanted to learn culture, tradition, style of life, habits of African Africans.
Okay.
And 16 years after, when I'm turning behind myself, I see a long journey where I have become outside, I look like a guy from Europe.
Yes.
Inside, I'm African more than many of you Africans.
Oh, that's good. Now, let me do a recap. You were quoted in an interview before saying, I started my dream here. I'm happy to come back home after traveling the whole continent from the time I left Uganda in July 2004. I have been absent in body, but my soul always been here. Now, cause you have been in a lot of African countries. Why is Uganda such a darling place for you?
I need to tell you, from the point of sport where I am, first love you never forget. And having that in mind, I came to Uganda. It has been a success story because I won the 5 trophies here, including after 17 years, Sekapa Club Championship, 3 league trophies, and Kakungulu Uganda Cup.
How do they say that? Say it again. Kakungulu
Uganda Cup. This was called that time.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I went for the let me say football studies in Africa for 9 years. I was absent in different countries. I came back and looking at everything, I can tell you that it has been an amazing experience. Whatever I got on that journey of 9 years before coming back to Uganda, I'm trying to give to Uganda service that Uganda has given accepting me 16 years back.
Wow.
What I mean here, I mean that I do not come alone. I come with a network of friends all over the Africa because I count myself as one person, not doing only coaching job because this is his job. I try to help in international relations, helping Uganda from the point of football. I work from the point of helping in administration, helping in logistics, helping in managerial issues, and on the end, coaching aspects.
So you're partly a philanthropist. Should I call you by that?
In a way, I could, but still, I count myself as. Before being coach, you need to feel it inside.
All right.
Many coaches have come to Uganda and they're coming to Africa with an view to come and have an adventure. For me, I have come first to be the supporter of Uganda Trains before coaching. So inside myself, I try to balance being supporter and feeling the way ordinary people feel on the streets and everywhere in all aspects of life, from the President of the Republic up to newborn baby, everyone is identified through Uganda Cranes. So that responsibility of being supporter, I turn then into the coaching, and this is why I believe that we have made the steps of 7 miles in progressing with Uganda Cranes in the last 4 years since I'm here.
Chilling.
How heartbreaking was it? I mean, having the entire country lobbying out for Uganda Cranes. We felt like we were heartbroken. I mean, stopping at the group stages. Man, we thought we were that close.
You need to know something. Going after 39 years is a huge achievement. Many have in between tried, they didn't succeed. People say that much better football generation of Uganda Cranes have failed. However, this generation had something in passion, hard working, dedication, commitment, and all other aspects that one team need to have in order to succeed. We qualify after 39 years. However, when you reach there after 39 years...
Maggie has brought your tea, coach. Thank you, Maggie.
When you succeed to reach there, practically you need to know that you are reaching a new territory. And
so, Maggie, let me ask you, what's in this tea?
It's black tea spiced with ginger.
Is that what you wanted?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much, sweetheart.
Okay.
Let's dip and see if they do it in style, you know. So, coach,
Anyhow, point
yes,
that I'm trying to emphasize, once you are reaching on that stage, you need to know that small details decide whether you have experience of such a competition or not. After 39 years, we have first time being found in unknown territory. So, working in that regard, we have really prepared ourselves well. It was one ball in each match that make us not getting the results we want, but experience that we got can tell to Ugandans that we are very close, and exactly that closeness to the best in Africa is our motivational injection and factor that is pushing us to stretch ourselves over the limits and make Ugandans more and more proud and happy of Uganda.
Wow.
Chilling.
Now, Coach, we're going to warm up with a segment on the show. It's more like a game, you know. It just warms us up before we start the topic. Now, it's called Would You Rather? Arsenal or Manchester United? These are both two strong English clubs.
Very hard for me to decide because I'm a student of the game, and I have, as a personal friend, 1995 of Arsene Wenger before he came to England. I'm connected to Arsenal closer. However, I respect Manchester as one of the biggest clubs.
Manchester United! Okay, another one. A son or a daughter? Because I understand you're a father now. This is a critical one. A son or a daughter? Would you rather? If you have to choose one.
I need to tell you, also there is a division, daughter. Why? Fact is that daughters
Sweethearts.
Sweethearts to the father, and this is exactly what makes it for the father
To fall in love with their daughters.
Absolutely.
It's such a sweet feeling to see your young girl.
As a parent, I really feel it, and I can tell you, is the most amazing feeling that any human being could have living on this planet, and that is feeling of being parent, being father, being mother.
Okay, day or night? A lot of activities happen during night.
A day, day, and then when I tell why rather day, because for me there is no division between day and night. For me, I work 16 hours, 3 hours I'm trying to give to my family, and 5 hours I sleep. So this is my 24 hours.
A holiday in Bahamas or Paris? Paris is a city of light. Bahamas, you're sipping on coconut.
Having in mind that I was on both destinations, it's very hard to divide. You really found the questions that are really putting me
on a hot seat.
Yes, a very, very hot seat. Therefore, I look forward. Paris is a city of light and never-ending, never-sleeping city. With all what it can offers. I would prevail to that, despite Bahamas is in the gateway to having total peace. So depending, you would like dynamic action or you would like peace and rest.
Okay.
If you want peace and rest, you will decide for Bahamas.
So
if you want dynamic action, then you go for Paris.
This other last one, meat or vegetable? Are you vegetarian?
I am not.
It's going to be disappointing.
But having in mind that nutrition is a very important part of sport, vegetables are very crucial aspects from the point of health. On the other side, I'm coming from the country where there is no food without meat present. Therefore, I would go for the meat, despite vegetables very much needed, and in a way, we are living in 21st century where we are in time when many diseases are there, and having in mind that meat is prompting all cancers and other issues. You need to have a perfect balance in between.
Cindy or Shiba. These are R&B Ugandan artists. Do you know them? Are you acquainted?
Of course, of course I know. I will go for Shiba because since I have come to Uganda, you know, if I want to remind myself of certain time, because in football we have so much pressure, tension, stress.
I know.
We need focus, concentration on the match in order to get the result. And my way of running away from that tension and stress of the matches, I'm listening to music. And Shiva is reminding me, respect to her, about the time when we have qualified to Africa Cup of Nations beating Comoros. So that song was calm music.
Which song was that?
Was very popular. I could not remind myself now, but I know that it was her, and this is why I open VIP hotel in my heart and keep in my memories such occasions in a special way.
Okay.
Chilling.
Let's dive into our topic. We'll leave along the joking. We're talking about discipline this time. You know, you're dealing with a career that precedes discipline as a requirement. As you know, there are a lot of issues that can bring in disciplinary cases, and most of it is combated with anger or negative feeling. But one wise man said, before you indulge me, one wise man said that he that cannot obey cannot command. And that's quite a very interesting quote. Yeah, so why do you think it's very crucial for an individual to be disciplined at all times?
I need to tell you something.
Yes.
First of all, we need to look at area where I am in sports. Discipline is an ability to restrain yourself from the temptations that out of field life is bringing, where you need to be strict and obliged to yourself to certain rules that you are following and going strictly in mental, in physical, in technical and tactical aspect plus theoretical in order to succeed. So line is very thin. Moment when you are not having that strict element of discipline in sport, you could not succeed. Classic role models and examples are at present two the best players in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. People see the final product of their performance. However, they do not see how much of discipline was needed to restrain from temptations that life is bringing and strictly focus on certain rules that could bring them to the top.
When you're young, I'm talking about that time when the adolescents start kicking in, about 15, 16, you know that age, 17. Yes. How did your parents, what mechanisms did they use to install discipline in you? Did they use to whoop you a little bit?
I'm coming from the country that has a conservative aspect. Father was extremely strict. I have been many times beaten. But today, practically 40 plus years after, may his soul rest in peace, he did, but I appreciate because he really wanted to make me good human being, normal human being that would not finish somewhere in the doldrums of negative things. So looking at that, I am very appreciative. On the other side, my mother did not use to beat me, but she beat me with something what is even more powerful, with certain words that she has used in her own way that touch human inside and is beating you more than physical beating you.
Yeah.
So she was reading and a role model, positive example that has with verbal aspects succeeding to put me in the right direction. On the other side, I have early gone away from home for 15 years because I went into the football and I have gone away from home. Then all this, what I brought from home, it has been a guiding point and line that has led me to go that direction. So now, after all, I really need to appreciate time behind is very, very important. And my advice to your viewers, parents, it is very crucial and important. The way you plant the seeds, the way fruits will be there. The way foundation of your house you are putting, the way your house will be strong and
will look fun.
The way you direct your kids in life, your children in life, the way you will one day be proud or ashamed.
Chilling.
Do you think there is a thin line between discipline and respect? Because those two work in tandem.
This is everything is playing in the same team. Because all those attributes of respect, of discipline, of humility, of all other attributes that are entering in that bracket, in that team, those are the teammates that are making in a way life appropriate, normal.
So what are the possible outcomes you think? Let's use a soccer player or a football player as an example. What are the possible outcomes that would come out of a person failing to be disciplined enough? Of course, there is losing friends, you lose your career.
First of all, we need to understand that life in this 21st century, the way it goes with all the things that are happening on this planet that we are sharing, life is not easy. Life is not bed of roses. There are hurdles on that road and whatever. And person that goes the right road will always reach the final product, final target that he's looking or she's looking for. On the other side, whoever compromise with that and do not abide, is not restraining from certain aspect, whoever behaves in an abnormal way, you need to know that you cannot escape. There is some, I call it like kind of traffic policeman there in the sky, God, that decides. You cannot hide even in mouse hole. You are practically seen a moment when you are not appropriate, not normal, not disciplined, not respectful. That moment you are destined to the negative road, negative things happen to you in life.
Chilling.
We are wrapping up the topic. I'll give you an example, or I'll tell you something that you probably know. Nature is the best example of discipline, because the sun comes in motion and then sets off, and then the moon comes and then it lights with the stars, and nothing can ever be as disciplined as that.
Yes.
Doesn't that excite you? I mean, even nature itself is disciplined.
Practically, when you are seeing this, this is a classic example that lives since this planet has been established. And in a way, this is the role model and positive example that need to push us to just follow that, because it has become automatic. This is what you are speaking. It has become normal. It has become as a process of discipline of things happening and repeating in normal way.
Well, I hope you guys have learned one or two things from the coach. Isn't he a ball of fireworks? I'm really surprised. You can speak out openly and you have a very open mind. I appreciate that. So what we are gonna do is go on to the next part, which is next week. Guys, don't worry, relax. We are coming back next week. The coach is not going anywhere. I would love to thank Deepan, Sip, Isaac, and Henry. They are doing such a magnificent job. Also, Quasi Classic, they do this phone in Wandega. Go and check out his clothes and get cool blazers and a nice bow tie. As coach is still enjoying his ginger tea. We are going to come back with the next part. We talk about his career growing up. You know, he tells us one or two things, and then he also tells us about the exciting tour he has taken around Africa. See you guys next week at the same time. Keep it tuned. This is UBC TV, and this was Chilling.
Next week on Chilling.
He's a former striker, a nominee of the Africa's best coach, and also one of the greatest coaches that we have ever had in our fantastic team, the Uganda Cranes. Coach Micho is still here with me. Man, are you enjoying your tea? You have to enjoy that tea.
I really enjoy the tea. I enjoy Uganda and enjoy Ugandan football. I was living a funny life that during my life, country 4 times changed the name. First was Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, then it was Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, then was Serbia and Montenegro, and finally now is Serbia. When technical people look at all the aspects, they are seeing statistics that are unbelievable. For example, in Uganda, in competitive matches, because friendly matches we were using for developing, trying and testing, and giving chance for the new players of our team. Competitive matches, I am by far the most successful coach in history of Uganda Cranes.
Yes.
Chilling.
Hi chillers, as you're enjoying this episode, make it an effort to follow our social media outlets. All you've got to do is type in Chilling UBC TV, like us on our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and then also subscribe onto our YouTube channel.